A big hello to all DIY enthusiasts. In this video I'll show you how to make it a water grenade launcher with a trigger that will shoot water bottles of different sizes. The bottles fly very high, creating a really beautiful fountain. Guys, those of you who watch my channel know that last time I showed you how to make a water grenade launcher. The simplest prototype version shoots empty plastic bottles filled with water of different sizes. The system is very simple. This is a regular tube. I told you the pump is connected here. We put the bottle on tightly, pump until there is a certain pressure. Our bottle with you will simply fly out of here and will fly very high. This time I will modernize this grenade launcher, make it with a reservoir with a trigger mechanism so that you don't have to pump all the time, but just point it at the target, press the tap and the bottle flies. Guys, to make this version of the Meta bottle, the Vodyanoi grenade launcher, we will need some tools, some spare parts, or rather, which will need to be either bought at the market or you can crawl around in the garage, let's say, at home, and find something similar. Watch how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use a plastic tube just like last time. But we need to do one thing that will be tricky here. In this video I'm going to make the valve so that it holds the pressure. I'm going to do it this way. Here I have a valve with these kinds of adapters. That is, here we see it already soldered. Here is a piece. I'm putting it on like this. I tighten and screw it onto the tap. The tap holds the pressure normally, and on the other side it's the same. That is, you just need to buy these adapters and solder it all together, or you can take another tap. This is the plan, and where you screw this adapter here and then run the tube here as well. Anyway, now I'll start doing it and you'll understand that all this is not as difficult as it seems. Guys, look, first of all, I'm going to use this kind of valve with a long handle, so it will serve as our trigger. So, I'm taking this adapter that will be inserted here, and it will be put on like this. This one here, it will be screwed on. It will press down like this. Right now, this adapter is a bit used, but I'll solder it. And I'll put a piece of tubing on here, where our bottle will be attached. I want to say that I'm going to use a special tool for this. The gun is a special tool used to glue such pipes. But if you don't have them, and you bought everything because it's inexpensive, you can use a regular burner. So now I take it and start, so to speak, to heat it up, so that later I can glue everything together. Guys, in our case everything here is already soldered, but on the other side I'm going to solder this long pipe. Here there will be a short pipe on this side about 20 centimeters long. Here's a piece of tubing, and on this side I'm going to have a long tube. It's glued on like this. So, next guys, after I've soldered everything, the long pipe to the valve and the short pipe to the valve, we need to screw these two pieces together so that the valve ends up in the middle. There's a little rubber ring that comes with it when you buy it, if you decide to buy it. And we screw all of this tightly. Then we can tighten everything up. So now we need a bottle. It's preferable for the bottle to be either 2 liters or 1.5 liters, but no less in volume. After that, we need to make a reservoir. The reservoir will be a 1.5 liter bottle, which will be attached on this side. But we need a pumping system. If we're going to make a hole in the bottle here and attach the reservoir there, or on any other side to attach our pumping system, that is the valve, I pulled it out of a regular inner tube. Then I'll glue it in, so the bottle will hold pressure, and there will be high pressure inside the bottle. We need a T-joint like this, and we're going to glue it in here right now. And I'll glue it on top using hot glue. This valve itself will hold everything tightly then. Now I'll explain and show you everything in detail. First of all, I'm marking where this valve will be, roughly up to the faucet, somewhere around here. Yes, let it be like that for me. I'm cutting this with a metal saw like this. After we've glued everything together, here's what we have. Look, here's the long pipe, and this is where the bottle will go, where we'll insert the tap. Here's our tap. So here, we will now glue our valve in place, right here, using hot glue, which we will pump with a regular pump. And here we will glue the tank later. Now I'm taking the hot glue and I'm gluing our valve right here with the hot glue. Next, everything is very simple. Here's our simplest design. So I've glued it in place using hot glue. Here's this valve, and now like this, also using hot glue here. Now I'm going to glue the bottle. I have a 1.5 liter bottle, guys. Right here, I'm saying that the bottle should be either 2 liters or 1.5 liters. This will be our tank, which we will now attach using hot glue. In this way, either tightly or at a distance, we will glue it right here on the short part of the pipe. If we want to shoot with 1 liter or also with 1.5 liter bottles, we need the volume of the tank to be larger than our bottle. So if I'm going to shoot with 1 liter bottles, then I take a 1.5 liter bottle and glue it here. Basically, we will be pouring water into it, and it will be able to shoot with 2 liter bottle. I think so, but it's still better to take either 1.5 or 2 liters, so that there's a tank back here. You have a bigger one, friends. So I've glued our little bottle in place. I applied the hot glue very well, at the same time it needs to get really hot so that it holds super tightly. I also heated the neck a bit with a torch, but it became less tight. Here it is, we see the hot glue still liquid. And I leave it for about 20 minutes for the hot glue to dry completely. This is my construction, and then I'll tell you more about it. It's been about 20 minutes for me, everything is tight, it's all dried up and everything is holding well here. Now we need to make the next one, just like last time, on this edge. This is where we will shoot, measure it out. Here's our bottle, for example, we will shoot with it. And it will be fitted like this. At about this distance we need to take some duct tape and wrap a few turns around it so that our bottle holds tightly on this tape. When we wrap it tightly here, our bottle will fit very well. It will hold tightly and will stay in place well because of that. And then, when we release the pressure using the valve, it will fly out like this. So our bottle fits tightly like this. In this case, the bottle is without water, and I just didn't tighten it tightly. Our valve is still open. So friends, the valve is open and now I'm going to pump it up. I take and connect the pump here. And I'll do a few pumps. Now I'm closing the valve and continuing to pump. Next, that's right, each of you will want to pump it up as much as possible. Then this grenade launcher so that it shoots as powerfully as possible, guys. I immediately recommend that after you've glued it, take some wire or rope here where the lip is. You need to wrap the bottle stopper around this protrusion a few times, definitely. Like this wire. And then carefully wrap it around this adapter here, because the hot glue holds it. But I'll just say it again. Who knows how many times you'll want to pump, how hard you'll want to shoot, so that it doesn't turn out that you have the wrong bottle. Actually, the bottle won't fly out because the valve is closed, but it will shoot. It's just that the hot glue won't hold it, so you need to protect yourself from that. Just wrap it tightly with wire like this. So right here, this bottle, how I do it, that's all. You can use this wire so it doesn't stick out like that. Just visually wrap it up, but you can also make a couple of turns with electrical tape here to just hide it a bit. That's why for several centuries the frame, the neck itself, to hide the glue, to hide the wire, so to speak, so that no one suspects, and that's it. Let's just finally try it. So here's our bottle, and having put some more, 1 liter. Initially, I recommend, now I'll show you how to do it. Here I take the pump, screw it on. Tightly, of course, both. I recommend opening the tap first when the bottle is already attached, and then do a few pumps. In order for our bottle to expand, look like this, up to 3, 4, numbers 3 to 26, skip 18, 5, sit. We're going to pump both the tank and the bottle at the same time, but the pressure will already be a bit higher. The pressure is low in the bottle now, in the tube. So now we close the tap to minimize losses in the main pipe when we've pumped our tank up a lot. Now let's see, I'll do, well, let's say about 30 pumps, I guess. 3, 4, 5. So we're out in nature right now with Anka, and we're going to test our water grenade launcher. A bottle water, it's less than a liter. How much is it here? Up to 0.07, we have 1.5 liters in the tank, the handle. Now we've opened our tap, so let's do a few pumps. Sam, let's go. 1, 2, good. To let the air flow through the tube and make it a bit better here, we can do one more pump. Let's go. Hello. That's it. Now we have a sturdy bottle here and the strong air has gone through the system, so now we can close our tap to keep the air in. The pressure was only created in the tank, and then when we pump it about 20 times, we'll test our water grenade launcher. And now friends, Sanya is going to show you how he shoots. Look, that's where the bottle fell, and that's where Sanek is. Well, it definitely flew about 30 to 40 meters, and here's another test shot from my super grenade launcher. Sanya has gone. Wow. That was an awesome flight. I also recommend you check out my videos, DIYs for summer, rocket from a bottle, and how to make a water gun.